Hey guys, so this is an actual pin and stretch technique for the hamstring complex, specifically the biceps femoris. I find that these lacrosse balls or anything else that's generally the same size and as hard works a lot better at getting through some of the deeper layers and hitting some of the more dense muscle groups, such as the hamstring complex and the calf complex as well. So instead of just doing a static hold on this, you still can, but I find it much more efficient to actually stretch the muscle and pull the adhesion through a tiny gap in between the ball and your bone. That typically breaks down the adhesion a lot sooner, and you can feel the difference based off of the shaking that happens when there is the adhesion and the restriction. So for example, biceps femoris is that little tendon that jumps out on the side on the outside of your leg. The adhesions for this are generally within the first third of the muscle. So what I'm going to do is find something that I can dangle my legs off of so that I have the additional weight of the legs, and I'm putting that hamstring in a shortened position so I can get deeper into the muscle. I'm going to find that adhesion by just rolling around a little bit, and then once I've found it, I have to do two things. So for example, it's right there. So the first thing I have to do is I have to move the adhesion forward, so that when I straighten my leg, the adhesion gets pulled back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift that ball forward just a tiny bit, like 1/8 of an inch, and then I'm going to put my pelvis into an anterior tilt to lengthen that muscle a little bit. I'm going to lean forward to apply a little more pressure, and then I'm going to squeeze my quad, and you can see my leg kind of shaking. It's because of the adhesion on the bottom. It's not allowing my quad to have a good contraction. So you're just going to squeeze the quad as hard as you can and then relax down. And as this adhesion starts to break away, you're going to be able to get more mobility, more flexibility out of this until you can actually get full extension and a very good solid quad contraction. So much so that you can actually feel the VMO contract as well, which is that inside part of the quad next to your knee. So you can see it's a little bit easier. Now I'm not shaking at all, and I've got a really good quad contraction. So I've already broken down that adhesion. So then I would move on, go a little bit farther up, try and find another one. Oh, there's a good one there. So same thing, roll the ball forward a tiny bit, and then start all over.